Okay, hi YouTube. Thank you so much to all the people who've been watching, and they've given me encouragement to produce this video for you guys. The people that I see in the trail that surprisingly recognize me while I'm riding in Kiara, and people who see me in bike shops, who always say, who always give me good encouragement on my previous videos, on the Nomad, on the Lapierre, and even someone who came up and bought a used bike from me, recognizing that I've done some videos and reviews on the bikes that I've sold and I've had the pleasure to ride. So anyway, cutting to the chase, my heart, yeah, I'm so happy that I meet the people who actually watch my video. So I've been riding non-stop every weekend as usual, and I've been riding this bike behind me, the 2022 Stumpjumper EVO Alloy. Since December, I bought this bike as a frame only, and I've custom built it up to the spec that I like, and it's been a joy. I've taken this long, 4 months to get to know the bike and get used to it, to give you all a credible and a in-depth review of the difference of a 2022 bike versus a 2015, 2016 bike, which I have been riding up to today. In fact, I've been riding this bike for the past month and a half because this bike has been down due to a broken Chinese carbon rim. I built this bike up, frame up, with a Chinese carbon wheel set, which I bought very cheaply online. And on my 8th ride, I had actually broken the rim. I had to wait about 10 weeks before getting my replacement, and another week and a half for the wheel to be rebuilt by our local store. Anyway, to cut the long story short, for those who just want to know the bottom line, the conclusion between the two bikes, hands down, the 2022 Stumpjumper EVO Alloy is better in every facet of riding compared to a 2015 Santacruz Nomad V3 Carbon. It's a no-brainer because bikes have come so far, geometries and technology has advanced so quickly in the past few years that bikes that were relevant just a year ago are no longer relevant because there are so many advancements and geometry has changed. So hands down, this bike beats this bike in every facet of riding. my daughter, why aren't you asleep yet? Okay, say hi to YouTube and bye-bye to YouTube. You gotta go to sleep. All right, good night. Anyway, oh no. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna edit that. Okay, so anyway, sorry for the interruption. Yeah, as you can see, I've reverted back my Nomad to a full 27.5 bike. Previously, I was riding it as a mullet with the fork that is fitted on this bike. This 2022 Stumpjumper EVO is a full 29er, and this 2015 Nomad is a full 27.5. It was very good as a mullet bike. It brought the bike back up to, I would say, up to 2019, but obviously not up to 2022. This is a true 2022 bike, and it's a full XC loop set, the same as this. I have removed my NV carbon wheels from this, and because this is my spare wheel set, which are totally fine as well. This bike weighs 15.2 kg, and this bike weighs 14.5 kg. So even with the weight advantage of the old Nomad, the Stumpjumper rides, climbs, descends, and pedals better than this Nomad. I can go further, longer, harder on the Stumpjumper versus the Nomad. The Stumpjumper allows me to climb better, has better traction, and obviously it also has better descending abilities, and rollover clearance is also much better. The good thing about this Stumpjumper is that it is a few bikes in one. If I bought the mullet link, I could ride it as a mullet as well, because I like riding mullet bikes. It's a very different and fun experience. It's a different type of agile bike. This 29er isn't bad either, because its geometry has actually brought the 29ers up and beyond the older 27.5's ability in terms of its agility, how nimble it is. In actual fact, in the past we would think that 29er bikes are less nimble compared to 27.5's, but this is not the case anymore. This 2022 Stumpjumper EVO actually turns in the technical switchbacks better than my 27.5 Nomad. It just does, and it climbs better. It just has more traction. It is smoother, and it's faster in general. So as I get used to the bike, I start to break more PRs, make new PRs on Strava, and in general, I'm just very happy with the purchase. This bike fully built up cost me close to 17,000 ringgit. The wheels were fairly cheap at 1,600 ringgit, 1,600 ringgit. I ran the rear without a tire insert. I am a rider that needs to have a rear tire insert because I am just rough and I ride like a buffalo. And it was my mistake to ride the rear wheel without a tire insert. Although I was running a downward casing rear tire, I still managed to break the carbon rim. And that's a story all on its own. I have the broken rim behind the camera over there. But whatever it is, I still run an exact same spec between the two. I'm still running 11 speed XT, 1146 the same. The only difference is I am running a twin port front and rear caliper, XT caliper, M8100, M8000. So same dropper, Satori Sorata Pro 150mm rear seat post dropper. This bike is 150mm rear travel. This bike is 165mm rear travel. It's running 160mm front fork. It's also a 160mm front fork. Pike, Lyric, alloy, carbon, 15.2 kg, 14.5 kg. And this bike, when I'm tired, you can only feel how efficient it is while climbing. During your climbs when you are tired, I think some of you can relate when you're pushing your last bits of energy, trying to ride your way home. You're hitting the home stretch and you're climbing an impossible climb at that point of time. You will feel all your power going through your body, and you would know whether the bike is efficient or not at that point of time. What I feel, just as a general feel of how I can relate how efficient this bike is versus this bike is that when I'm tired, I'm climbing up a hill, 85% of the effort of me pushing down on the pedal translate to torque in the rear tires. Whereas this bike, when I'm tired and I'm climbing, I would feel it's only 75% of my energy is translated through the pedal into the tires. So there is some parasitical loss of power in this bike, which shows its inefficiency in climbing. And this bike is 10% more efficient in climbing versus this. I hope you all understand what I'm trying to say. To me, this bike climbs and is 10% more efficient versus this bike. That's why I feel I can ride longer, do longer riding days on this bike, and I can push harder on this bike because this bike requires less effort to climb, to pedal, to descend. As I get used to it, I may start to take this for granted because when I went from riding this bike 8 weeks in a row to riding this bike for the past 6 or 7 weeks, I have not been excited to ride this bike, to get on this bike, because I know I was going to have to work harder. I know I would have to put in more effort to clock in the same amount of kilometers that I used to ride on this bike. And I know I would be much more tired at the end of the ride with this bike versus this bike. So, and that has been the general consensus so far until today. I have not changed my feeling about this bike. I would rather ride this bike on all occasions. So having said that, I've decided that I will sell this bike and just maintain one bike until the next itch comes to play. Until the next itch. So I hope I have covered enough information, light information. I didn't want to go too technical, didn't want to go too deep in this video. Just wanted to give you guys a gist of what I've been up to, what I thought about the new 2022 feel about jumping from an old bike to a new bike. I think it's worth every penny. If you can afford it, go for a new bike. As new as you can afford, go for as new a bike as you can get, with the most modern geometry that suits your riding style, that suits your body length and how you want to ride. Get the right size. I'm 174 cm tall. I've taken an S3, which is more or less a medium. I ride this as a size large Nomad, Santacruz Nomad, but in 2015 to 2018, Santacruz, in my opinion, was one size smaller than the rest of the industry. So if you were actually a size M, you should ride a size L at that time. But now Santacruz has actually caught up, and they're producing bikes with the correct size for the correct height of the rider. So yeah, I hope I didn't bore everybody. I gave you all a gist and given you guys a out on the video, early in the video, by telling you that this bike is my choice, the pick of the bunch. I will be riding this bike for another few years. It's got the parts that I've always dreamt of having, and maybe with more encouragement from my viewers and comments, if you guys are going to comment about giving you guys a bike check on what this build is all about, I will. But generally, it's a full XT 11-speed build, and with China carbon rims, Novitec hubs, 45mm stand, SDG saddle, China dropper, XT SPD, XT crank, Sate bottom bracket, etc. etc. Nothing else that's very fancy. All very proven parts that will last a lot of abuse. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I have a lot of riding videos with this bike when I got it, and I had the GoPro 9 given to me as a present. I used that very much, enjoyed it a lot, rode and videoed a lot of rides on this bike. I was flying. Those were first few rides on this bike. I think my first, second and third rides I used the GoPro, and I had videos of riding in Kiara. So go and watch those videos. They are fast. They are not as fast as I am riding this bike now because I was getting used to the bike then. I'll be riding faster now, I'm quite sure. This is a safe bike to ride fast. I've never had a wow. Yeah, I've had a few wow moments. Who am I kidding? But yeah, hang on. Let me get you the broken China rim. Let me show you what's going on over there. How it broke. Yeah, this is where the rim broke. Broke right through. I couldn't reuse the nipples, and I did not reuse the spokes. So unfortunately, after 8 rides, this rim decided to give up the ghost to my abuse. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Peace out.